Hey everybody, it's your friend Sarmate here, and we're back with another episode of Settlement Survival. I hope you're having a fantastic and amazing day today. In this episode, we are going to work on a little bit more logistical things. We were talking about warehouses and the other better warehousey type things we have in the game. We just have to unlock. We're going to go ahead and start the day with that. So we have 3 points right now. We're going to go to logistics. We're going to grab cellar, storage boost, and let's go with the water trading post. We're starting to do a whole lot more trading in bulk. And I think we'll get it just to check it out. So we're going to go ahead and grab this guy as well. So now that we have that water trading post, let's go ahead and get it built up. We have this nice little area right here, nice and flat spaces. So we're going to go ahead and tuck this back as far as we can. And go ahead about right there. Of course, tie it in with some obsidian roads. Something else that I would like to do is go about right here and throw a bridge in. So we can start to work our way over in this area as well. We'll go ahead and get all that stuff built up. In our last episode, we were working on this area a little bit. It's mostly built up. We have our sand pit now. We got all 5 of them now. A whole bunch more new ones up and operational. We're trying to upgrade as we go. I think we got everything upgraded, which is looking great. And we're doing pretty well with sand, which is great. Exactly what we needed. We need some more glass bottles. We're heading in the right direction with our glass bottles. We may need to add a couple more kiln factories to really ensure that we're meeting that demand. But it's looking pretty good. Back over in here, we got our senior housing completed. Let's go ahead and throw some upgrades in there. We have 1 puppy left. Excellent. We're going to go ahead and do all 3 in there. Looking good. And then we are short on cut stone. So the cut stone, of course, is coming into play over in here. We need about 4,000 more cut stone until we get our great palace completed. And then, of course, we got to hammer on it and get it built up. But it's looking really good. I'm hoping that we can get this completed in this episode. It's been, what, like 4, 5, 6 episodes? Quite a few. So I'd like to get this thing checked off our list and good to go. And we're doing that with 2 Grand Bazaars now. Right now, I have all 4 caravans, so 2 Grand Bazaars, 2 caravans in each, all visiting Lorenzo and or Rania to get us the cut stone. All 4 of them, 1080 cut stone each on the buyback, and this first one is selling a bunch of goods for us, getting us about 87,000 coins, and we'll get that in, and that's going to pay for most of the cut stone. A young lumberjack was tending to the trees around the lumberyard as usual, when he found several crooked trees that cannot become proper lumber, even with ongoing care. Cut them down. That's going to give us some timber. Kind of a weird little event there. I don't remember that one. So anyways, we got our cut stone on the way, and that should do a pretty good job of getting us where we need to go. Over in here, we were talking about this a little bit, exchanging the pastures that we had for hardwood pastures. I have completed that task. We got a bunch of alpaca over here. We got some cows, got some bison. So what we want to do is probably make a couple more hardwood pastures for bison. So we're going to go ahead and knock that out. And then let's go for a couple more of these hardwood pastures. I'm going to copy what we got here. I'll do it right here. And then we'll put a road in and then tie it all in. All right, there we go. And my thought for this is, so we want some more leather, right? So we got buffalo for that. We have a little section up over in this area, coming up here, right here, where we have our really old pastures. Like, these were where we started. What I would like to do is move all of the critters from these pastures to hardwood pastures. And then once we do that, once we move them, we're going to delete these, and then we'll put some more hardwood pastures in here to replace these. And then I think that would be the good thing to do. We'll probably do a lot of buffalo for that, really get that going. And I'm just checking on the timeline here. It looks like we have immigrants and an animal plague. So I think this is the first time we've seen animal plague in our playthrough so far. And that's going to gradually spread and kill animals in the same pasture. So what we want to do, which we have achieved already, is spread out our animals. So we have geese in 2 different pastures. Bison, in this case, more than 1 pasture. And then turkeys also in separate pastures. So what's going to happen here, let's say the turkeys get the disease. It could potentially kill all the turkeys that are in this pasture. But as far as I know, and as far as I've seen, and as far as this is saying, it will not spread to additional pastures. So that's great. I don't want it to do that. So we'll just worry about the one. If we do get it and lose some animals, I'm not terribly concerned about it. We have plenty of other we can go ahead and transfer. Get all of these guys over in here. We have 2 alpaca. We have 2 cows. We got 3 more on the way. We're looking really great with our livestock situation, so I'm not terribly concerned about it. The one thing that I am kind of concerned about is our horses. So this is the only place right now where we have horses. So what we could do is while we're waiting for these guys to get created, we could double check to see what the numbers are in each of these hardwood pastures, and it looks like we're pretty close to cap. So 36 is the most we have. So let's go ahead and we'll prioritize one of these. Let's pause these other ones, get one built, and then let's go ahead and separate out some horses into that hardwood pasture. Oh, except we can't do that, can we? Because horses can only be in corrals. Okay, so what we'll do instead, we'll separate out some geese into one of these pastures, and then we'll move the horses into another corral. That's what we'll do. So we just got to wait till it gets created. It shouldn't take too long with the prioritized. Looks like rope is kind of running short. We were kind of working on that in this area. And the problem is coming in because we have a low amount of reeds. So yet another thing that I want to expand on. Let's go ahead and throw one of these guys down. That'll work okay right there. And we do have a ship here, so I want to check this before it leaves. Looking for those blueprints still, and still don't have anything. We'll go ahead and dismiss that guy. Let's work on upgrading our storage abilities a little bit here. So what we can do, we got a couple options here. So we have the cellar. This is going to work the same as a warehouse, but the citizens can walk across the top of it. But then we have the storage center and the mountain warehouse. So yeah, these things are really good. The mountain warehouse I really like because just as it sounds, we can build it inside the mountain. So if we wanted to, we could go ahead and tuck one of these warehouses right back here and utilize the edge of the mountain for more storage space. I really like the idea of these. So we're going to go ahead and throw one in. We're going to require some building kits, some lanterns, which we're kind of short on. And then there's rope again. And then we're doing great on steel. So we'll work on that. It's going to take some time to get this thing working. And once it does, we'll go ahead and get that checked out. So let's take a quick look at our Grand Bazaars. We're just about ready to have our caravans return, getting us lots of those cut stones. And that'll be a really nice thing. Only a few days left, so we should see them here. Here they are rolling in right now. Looking good. Up over in here, it looks like the one caravan that was going to sell some stuff, it still has a little ways to go on its journey. But the other one that was just buying is nearly here. So that should be about 2,000 more cut stone once they unload it. And that'll put us at about 7,500 cut stone in our Great Palace. Excellent. So 2 more caravans, that should push us over. So we may need to set up maybe one more and get that going. But what we could do instead, because we built the water trading post, which is over here, we can go ahead and set this up. Now that we're getting our caravans back, we're going to be getting back about 60 people. So with 2 caravans, I had them at 14 people apiece because I really wanted that risk of death really low. And so that's what I ended up doing with all 4 caravans. We're getting those workers back, and we can go ahead and send them back out on the water trading post. Let's go ahead and check this thing out and see how much it can move. It's a lot. Starting here with 20 caravan members, we have a risk of death of 3.75%. That's higher than I like. Ideally, it's at like 2. We'll go ahead and go 28, bringing the risk of death down to 1.9%. We could go ahead and take some time to sell some things, but this is why the water trading post is pretty good. 13,000 carry weight. Very, very good amount of carry weight. The other thing to consider with the water trading post is 488 days. So pretty close to our caravan as far as days go, but way more workers. So we got to kind of balance it out. Think about which one is better. If we want to use 28 workers for 488 day trip, which is not too bad, but with a carry weight of 13,000, let's go ahead and see how many cut stones that's going to be. All right, so at 13,000 weight, a total price of, let's call it 45,000, 2,600 cut stone. It's twice as good as our ground caravans with slightly more workers for 2 caravans. So in the case that I just did with 14 each, it's tied for caravan members with a slightly higher risk of death. So it's quite comparable to 2 ground caravans if you wanted to do multiple ground caravans. So we're just going to go ahead and do the one water trading post just to check it out. We don't quite need 2,000 cut stone in this case. Let's go ahead and change that a little bit here. All right, so here we go. We got our water trading post set up, 28 caravan members, and we have a ton of money we're going to make from selling stuff, 107,000. I'm going to be spending about 35,000 on some cut stone and brick. I decided to go for brick because we are working on that great castle. We're going to go ahead and form this, send it out, gather up all the goodies, and get them out of here. However, because we took 28 laborers, we're down to 5. So I went from like well over 100 down to 6. So we got to keep our eyes peeled on that for a little bit here and make sure we don't overdo it. Now, in our last episode, we did a thing with our... Oh, boy. Okay, so before we forget here, and I almost did, let's slow the game down. We need to move our horses around just in case. So we should have... There it is. The hardwood pasture completed. So let's go ahead. We're 31 here. Hardwood pasture 31. Let's go ahead and move as many geese as we can out of here. It looks like 22. So hardwood pasture 31 there. 22. Boom. And then let's go ahead and transfer. We're going to transfer some horses out of this corral to corral 21. And we'll do 2. And then that should work perfectly. So the horses will go here. And the geese will go ahead and waddle on down here. Looking exactly what I wanted. And it should be just in time for the diseases to hit. So hopefully we don't get horses. It's unlikely because we have so many other things, but I don't want to risk it. So we're going to go ahead and we'll do that. That'll be great. And let's continue to work on our pastures here. So we pause these other 2 because of the rope concerns. So let's go ahead and we'll turn 1 back on. And then we will continue to work on getting as much leather as we can. And once we get that leather going, we will go ahead and come over here. In our last episode, we put these together. So we got our luxury furniture factories. We have 2 of them now. I'm going to turn one of them off because we don't have the goods at this moment. We are trying to get more luxury furniture factories so that we can get more luxury furniture and create, we need 1,000. We need quite a few of it. So we're going to get that and we'll do that, but we can't do that without leather. So we're trying to get more leather coming in so we can work it into refined leather. And of course, we're doing that with our leather shop here. There's our leather. Less than 200. We're doing okay with salt. So both of these things probably could use a little bit more attention. And that's kind of what I'm thinking with the leather. We'll go ahead and we'll get our other hardwood pasture over in here. Get some more buffalo in there. And I think what we will do is we will utilize those new hardwood pastures for some of these critters that are over in here. Side note, here is our disease in one of the geese. And we will move these guys. We'll delete these old pastures and we'll substitute new shiny hardwood pastures, and that will be the ideal thing to do over here and get that up and working as good as it can be. Another thing that I was kind of noticing a little bit here is we were kind of getting low on clothing, and so what I want to do is I don't want to just go to rough clothing. Like, we should be way past rough clothing by now. I'd like to work on luxury coats as like the minimum. So we need some more silk. We're really low on silk. So if we look at our silkworm shed, we have an okay amount of mulberry leaves, but no more cocoons. We should be getting immigrants here really quick. So let's go ahead. We'll put another worker in there. As long as we get the mulberry leaves, we should be able to do this. In order to ensure that, let's go ahead and level this out. And of course, we are going to go ahead and put in another dense orchard. So go ahead and left shift click on that. And let's get another one of these buddies up and running. All right, excellent. And yeah, look at these. All 3 of these warehouses are full up again. Let's go ahead and check out our storage center. So 60 kits, 50 steel, 120 plank. Should be no problem to do that. That's okay, so let's go ahead and see where this is going to fit the best. We could absolutely tuck it right in here. What I would like to do, ideally, is kick these other warehouses out of here. This is going to fit perfectly right there. Let's go ahead and we'll plop one down here. And then let's get this built up. And then maybe I'll turn these off. Go to storable items, deselect everything, empty it out. Once we get this thing built up, we can demo these, and then the goods fall on the ground, and then they pick them up, and then hopefully they get put in this storage center here. And I think that would be the good thing to do. We could put another one in over in here, and we should be set in this area for storage for the rest of the game, hopefully. And we'll keep looking around for spaces that we can continue to do that with. Upgrading our storage. I was kind of thinking, that we were doing just fine with storage in the last episode, but looking around again, we are quite short on storage, so we got to get that figured out. Okay, here's our hardwood pasture, just like we said, number 32. Let's come up over in here and get some of our bison over there. All right, we have 3 of these set to walk over there, and you can see that they're already on the road, making their way. So we're going to go ahead and demo these and get that happening. And then we could put a hardwood pasture right there and start to get some turks in there. And oh, we could even transfer some of these bison down to that new hardwood pasture. So let's go ahead and do that quick. And it looks like we have reached capacity. So we have one little bison area right in here, and that's just fine. We'll be able to put those guys over in here when we get our new hardwood pasture. And then we have a couple more bison over in here that we can also move and get those guys all grouped up over in there, and that'll be great. Something else we should do over in here, just like we were talking, let's go ahead and get another storage center going. It looks like we got our mountain storage complete. Let's go ahead and check this out. Get in there a little, check this out, what it looks like here. Looking pretty good there. Let's see what we can expand. So yes, we could expand with the bricks, but of course we're really low on bricks. But we are getting that to utilize. So super great. Lots and lots of goodies in here. So very, very good thing to have. We had a couple of buildings that we tucked in the last episode, such as our outdoor kitchen here. Look at that, up to 50 laborers. Thank you, immigrants. And so we have lots of corn. So we mentioned that. Let's get some more tacos going. So these are a little bit better. Of course, more processed food, a little bit better. We're going to go ahead and get some of those going. Get some oven action. And sure, we'll throw some building kits in there. And let's give some more workers in here. Looking good. Let's get lots and lots of tacos. Everybody loves tacos. At least everybody I know loves tacos. So we'll get that happening, get lots of tacos going on. So kind of back on that clothing situation that I briefly mentioned, I'm going around and upgrading our tailors, our advanced tailors, to clothing factories. They aren't terribly difficult to upgrade. Handful of bricks, some steel, which, wow, we're low again on steel, and then lamp oil. So we can continue to work on getting our steel up and operational. It looks like the problem is we have no iron. So we have some refined fuel. It's getting a little low. Might be something that while we're looking at it, let's go ahead and throw another one of these guys in or two. Get that built up. And yeah, we are at 0 iron ore. So yeah, we got to finish that. So we got to fix that immediately. Looks like I got a deep mine here, which is great. Let's go ahead and fill that in. We got lanterns. We'll go ahead and do that for a little bit more efficiency. And we want that iron. And we have lamp oil. Great. So that's excellent. Let's go ahead and toggle through a couple of these and see what we got going on here. Yeah, we have lots of coal, but not a whole lot of iron. And since we do have so much coal, let's go ahead and adjust that to be another iron ore. So we have a couple senior mines. There's a couple right in here. We need to upgrade in steel. So we're working on it. We'll get some iron out of these two and get the fuel factories up and running and get the smelters back up and running. And then we will be looking great for steel again. Now we're looking at our stone in the red here. So we got to do something about that. So we should have, oh, these are senior quarries, not a deep quarry. That's okay. We have another quarry up over in here, which I think is a deep one. Yeah, it is. Okay, great. And we need iron tools. Oh, okay, so that's a problem. If we don't have iron, we can't make iron tools. So let's get the iron figured out before we do anything more in our deep quarry here. Well, I guess it's already pretty maxed. So we can go back down to our senior quarry, add a couple more workers in there, and then we can upgrade that once the inventory runs out and once we have more iron. Looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and get this pasture back up and running. And then, while I'm thinking about the pastures, let's come back up over in here and look at that nice open space for us. And now that we're working in this area again, we can absolutely flatten some of this out and utilize the space a little bit better now that we have that nice handy dandy tool that we didn't have in the beginning of the game. And let's go ahead and get a couple more of our friendly hardwood pastures going in here. Let's do a couple of 14x14s. It's a good use of the space up over in here. We can even do a road here, tie it in, and look great. We're looking really good with all of our technologies. I'm just kind of scrolling through here, seeing what's up. We don't really need a whole lot more points, so that'll be really great once we complete the tech tree to get all those workers back. But we aren't going to worry about that right now. Gotta decide what I want to do in the next episode here. Probably going to go ahead and fill a supply terminal and delivery station. Those are good things to get. We got to get the meat feast and the bakery done. I don't really care about the plantation. Don't need it at this point. Don't need these guys. Yeah, so we talked about this a little bit last episode. I was thinking maybe we didn't want to do some of these other things, but maybe we do. Maybe we do check it out. We can build a great temple just because we want to see it. Or maybe another great castle. That'd be cool. That stress relief, I like that. So that's something to consider. Another thing that we are going to need, it looks like, is some more puppies here. So we got to get these guys traded for. We need some more of that luxury furniture. We talked about that. Okay, let's go ahead and check on our water trading post. they got quite a bit of time left to be cruising the oceans. So we probably won't see these guys back in this episode, but in the next episode, we'll see how they fared. Hopefully quite well. It looks like our butter shop is at max, which is excellent. Lots of butter coming in. We have a good amount of milk because of these hardwood pastures for our cows, producing all sorts of goodies, 476. So we know our butter stock is pretty good. Let's go ahead and bump it up even further. Let's make sure that we got that really hammered down. And then it looks like we're going to need a couple more lobsters. So what we got to do, of course, is go over here where we have the nice flat areas, grab our fishing port, and we're going to go ahead and build another one. Let's make this the first building over on the other side of the river here. And of course, we got to tie in roads, and we'll do some more bridges. I'll probably do a bridge right in here to connect this little area. All right. And then of course, we'll do our obsidian road and tie it in like that. Great. And you know what I think we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll grab a logistics and we'll do a storage center right there. And then we'll get a transfer station, maybe tuck it right here or something. But yeah, that'd be great. And that's going to be it for this episode. We got a couple storage things figured out. We got lots of hardwood pastures going on. Looking awesome. Thanks for coming and hanging out with me. I hope you have a fantastic and amazing rest of your evening, day, or night. And I hope to see you again.